Good evening, this is Gaming McFitness. So I'm doing the Zwift run today that I mentioned. It's like a 4 or 5 mile run, something like that. Excuse me, it starts in like a minute. I was running late setting up, so I didn't have time to eat dinner. Ah, shit. And whatnot. So, there's that. I wanted to join the run on time, so I joined it even though I'm still sort of setting up a bit. Oh, I did lose a pound. I guess I didn't update the graphic on the bottom right. It says 225, but I weighed myself yesterday. I was 223. So, I actually weigh 223, which is the lowest I've weighed since I started exercising with the fitness gaming thing last fall. So that's good. I don't know why my graphic didn't update right on the bottom of the screen. So, I'm gonna do what I did last time I did a run, like 3 weeks ago or so. I'm gonna run about 3.1 miles per hour, which is about the minimum speed they'll allow you to run. So everybody else who is participating is in shape and they're racing, but it's a run. It's a run, and it's a race. But I know I'm not gonna win, so I'm not even trying to win. The other people might have been trying to win. The last run I did, there were other slow people in one of the runs. But this one, it looked like they were all in shape. So they just flew past me. I'm the last guy of the run. I haven't done this track before. I think it might be new. Yeah, I thought it was 5 miles. It's 4.1 miles. So it's not much longer than a 5K, I guess, but it's on an incline. So that affects how far you travel per step in the video game because it's on an incline. It's weird. I wonder if there is a real place where there's a bicycle track in a casino. I mean, you could do that because they don't have tailpipes like a car. I don't know how to adjust my treadmill for the hills. I'm not gonna even try to do that. I could simulate elevation or grade change on a bicycle, because my exercise bike does have a little resistance knob, but this isn't an incline treadmill. I don't know if I can hear myself in the thing. It's quite loud. Let me see if I can turn that down. Okay, that's a little better. I've never done a run like this where it displays text all the time. I think maybe they're maybe they do that on certain categories of runs. I just moved the fan to actually hit me just out of frame here. Rooftop KOM. I don't know what KOM stands for, but I know it's like a hill climb. Oh, I need to display chat if I'm getting chat. Forgot to do that. My heart rate sensor not working. There is a heart. It says above the 122 I think is the heart rate. I don't know why there's a 0 next to above the 122. I wish Zwift would let you on normal runs do more of these newer tracks, because I'm getting sort of sick of the normal tracks. But maybe that's the point. Maybe they want to push you into doing the group activities, like the races and runs, and hypothetically more social. If you're not way behind the pack type of runs. It's starting to get warm where I live in Michigan. So it's like warmer in my apartment, because there's like a drafty window over there that would keep it cool in here in the winter. I'm already starting to sweat. I can turn this fan up a tad, I think. Oops. That's much better. I don't know if I don't think it'll interfere with the mic that much. You might hear it blowing into the mic somewhat, but I can try to point it down a little, the fan here. I point it. It seems to have a certain locked vertical positions. So if it's like this, it's too low, and if it's like one lock up like this, it's too high. So I can hear it a little in the mic, but oh well. I can slow down a little bit. I think you do have to average around 3.1, which is 5 miles an hour, or 5K per hour. We'll see how much the hill affects the speed when you go up the hill. I'm curious. It really affects the bike speed a lot, but I don't think it'll affect the run speed as much, because if you think about it, like in real life, bicycling uphill is super hard, but walking uphill is harder, but not to the degree that bicycling uphill is. So it's 3.4 with like a 0 elevation. Or actually, I'm at a -2 elevation gradient if you look on the top right. So I'm actually going downhill right now. So I'm gonna leave the treadmill on this speed and see how it affects my miles per hour when I actually get to the hill. Out of 10 it says. So I'm at 0.5 miles. The next slowest person is at 1 mile. Yeah, they don't have that many runners. If it was a bicycle thing, there'd probably be like 110 people or something. It's like way more people bicycling in Zwift than running. I don't know if that 120 is my hard or not. Okay, it is jumping around. So I guess it is. If I start talking, the 120 should pop up a bit, because I'm not breathing as well when I'm talking. So let's see how long it takes to... Yeah, I don't know, fuck it. I'm not convinced that heart rate sensor is that 120. It might be the 0 and it's just not working. The heart rate sensor here might not be working. Because this is a different interface than the normal run. 120 is probably about right though, because I'm not really out of breath yet. Although I don't think it's normally that stable, my heart rate. There's a small chance my blood sugar might drop because I didn't eat, in which case I'll have to go get some sugar to drink. I do have my salad there, but that's not quick sugar. But I'll be fine. That's happened to me so many times in my life that I'm not worried about it. I've never actually passed out from low blood sugar. I think if you do, you don't usually die. I think your body catches up if you're unconscious and you're not burning energy, and it creates sugar for your blood. Because I'm only mildly hypoglycemic or pre-diabetic. And normally that only bothers me when my weight is high, like above 235, and my weight is low. So I haven't really had blood sugar problems in a long time, but if I don't eat and then I run 4 miles, that might be a extraordinary scenario. So that's a possibility. Although I did eat a little bit, like a third of this salad. That's with dressing, so that's probably enough to keep me okay if I needed to eat at all. I don't know why the ground is pink. Maybe it's just, I guess it's the running trail on the side, and then the gray is the bicycle part of the road. And they just made it pink because it's like a neon casino color. It sort of matches the neon theme of the trail. Okay, now that I've turned, I should be getting close to the hill, I would think. Never done this trail, but it's only 4 miles long and I've almost gone a mile. And the whole point of it is to run the hill. So I've got to get to the hill pretty soon. I think right around this corner is the hill. It looks like it's starting to go up in the distance a little. So yeah, I'm enjoying that Ethan Carter game that I streamed yesterday. Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I'll probably play it tomorrow. Stream it tomorrow. I'm still walking at a down grade. 1% down. I think they just wanted to show off the casino part of this track, or map, I should say. So they had us do the start of the run in their fancy new casino trail because they're proud of it. They just built it and they're proud of it. Even though it doesn't fit the theme of the run, which is the hill. So now that I've gone about a mile, they're going to actually put me on the hill. Yeah, the guy in front of me, he's only at 1.6 miles. So he was going, 1.7. Okay, he slowed down relative to me a little bit, but not a lot. Because when I was at half a mile, he was at 1 mile. So he was double me in distance. But now he's not quite double me in distance. Presumably because he's on the hill. And so it's harder to maintain the same speed in the hill. Okay, about to start changing elevation. That must be that white circle is where the actual uphill trail starts. And we're the 1 mile. That means I've gone a mile. Okay, they want me to change my incline of my treadmill to 3%, but I don't have an incline of the treadmill. And I don't want to speed up either, because I don't think I could make it if I go any faster. I think the game math takes it into account, even though I'm not technically on an incline. I think it I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe everybody else has an incline treadmill and I don't. So I'll pass them and they'll claim that I'm cheating and win the race. Yeah, I guess the software would expect my feet to be moving slower if I set the treadmill to an incline. But because I didn't set the treadmill to be an incline, maybe it thinks I'm going faster than I really am. So maybe I'll end up passing people if they're actually setting their treadmills to incline. I don't know. I still won't win the race, so it doesn't really matter. We'll see what happens though. I'm just curious. I didn't really think it through that much. It does say that you don't have to set the treadmill on the incline. I think it said that in the text in the middle of the screen in the beginning. Whatever. I just wanted to do a run. I'm not trying to cheat a race and win. I don't think anybody cares. Bring your treadmill to 0%. Which it already is, because that's all I can do. You know, it's annoying me that it says 225 pounds on the bottom, because I just exported the 223 pound image. I remember doing that. So it's annoying me that it still says 225. Let me look at the bitmap for that. Oh, I didn't export properly from the app. I'm not going to deal with that. That's too much effort when I'm in the middle of a run. But if I only had to drag the file over into the app that says 223, I would have done that just now to fix it. Oh, I see. On the top left, it divides it into sections like that. So it says 0.25 mile, 3% incline. So I'm about to finish that 0.25 mile section, and then I'll be on the 0.37 mile free run section. And there's 14 sections in the run. That's how it works. Okay. That's how it does it when you climb the big hills when you're cycling. It divides it into a bunch of smaller chunks like that, based on elevation and map features and stuff. Well, it does say adjust accordingly, but it also says it's up to you. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think that 118 is actually my heart rate, because it should slowly creep up over the minutes if it's accurate. What? Why is it saying run? It shouldn't say that. I hope it doesn't kick me out of the thing. That's a software bug. Shit. Maybe it'll let me pop back in. Okay. What? God damn it. It's not even on the right map. Yeah, that's a software bug. Yeah, my heart rate sensor wasn't working. It is now, because it says 144. That pisses me off. So because I adjusted my sensor, it kicked me out of the map. It says I'm on the Neokyo map, but I'm not. I'm on the Zwift map because of their software bug. And it also started me over. Well, it sort of started me over. It says I'm on 2014 in the sections. So that part didn't reset, but the calorie count reset. The time since start reset. That sucks. Fuck. I'll keep going until 8 and then quit. But yeah, it's a total software cluster F here. What if I quit this event and then will it put me back in the event that I was already doing? hit let's go about 6 times there. Okay, so now I'm totally out of the software bug event that it kicked me out. I'm just in Watopia, which is the main map. All the fit people will think that I quit. 10 other people in the run. But no, I was just trying to get my damn heart rate sensor to work, and it was a software bug. Too bad I don't have a streaming audience. Then I might be able to shame them into fixing the bug. $147 is a bit high for where I'm at in the time, so I'm going to slow down a bit. Now I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to at least seeing if I would finish, and also just seeing the new trail that I hadn't done before. The Casino Japan thing. I've done this so many times, this main track at Zwift. I guess next run I do, I'll have to know that if my heart rate sensor isn't working, I'll just have to not mess with it. It's weird that the calorie count was working though. Even though the heart rate sensor, because that's the main reason I want the heart rate sensor, because I can sort of tell if I'm out of breath and I'm overdoing it. But having the heart rate sensor going makes the calorie burn count more accurate. I guess maybe it was setting my heart rate to 120 as a default because it wasn't getting the heart rate measurement. Maybe it was doing that, and it was basing the calorie burn on a 120 heart rate instead of what I was actually doing, which was like 130, 140. Maybe that's what that 120 number was. It's like a fallback default number. Otherwise I wouldn't have anything to calculate the calorie burn against. I'm so fucking bored now that I'm not in the run. You look at all these are all real people on the bikes in the virtual world. There's so many more bicyclists than runners. In Zwift. Used to work in software development as a bug fixer. I could probably fix that bug within a few hours. The heart rate sensor thing. Unless their code is absolute shit. If it was designed well, I could probably... That type of bug is super easy to figure out. Easy to replicate. Just based on like going into menus and how, what does the code do when you enter the menu when you're in this state. It's not like a random bug that pops, that it like crashes every 6 hours randomly, which is almost impossible to figure out. Could probably figure it out within a few hours, having literally never seen their code before. Even if I don't know the programming language. Fixing it if I don't know the programming language might be a little hard. It's easier to read code than it is to write it. So finding bugs is easier than, well, if it's an obvious bug, finding it is easier than fixing it. Sometimes. In this case, probably it is. Although fixing this one probably wouldn't be too hard either, but I'm going to stop talking about that. My throat's been getting sore at the end of almost all of the workouts. I'm going to see if drinking more water helps. It's a little sore right now, but not bad. Maybe I should be breathing through my nose when I'm not talking. Seems to be a little easier on my throat. Part of the reason I did this fitness gaming and I want to lose weight in the first place is because my reflux has been getting worse, my acid reflux in my throat. Now I'm burping, which I noticed something weird, that if I lean back too far when I'm sitting, like if I lounge back, I'm putting a little pressure on my midsection, and sometimes I can burp, but a lot of times it holds the burp in. And I know that because as soon as I sit up or stand up, I burp a lot. Like the burp finally comes out. But because of my reflux problem, just if I sit there too long and all the burp air accumulates in my stomach, it'll sometimes aggravate my acid reflux. Which I don't know if that's a normal thing. I'm going to bring that up when I go to the doctor next time. It doesn't seem like it's an urgent enough thing to go to the doctor just for that, because it's probably somewhat normal. I can just talk about my reflux in general and how it's getting worse. My doctor last fall gave me some steroids for my throat, And that worked wonders. Like within 3 hours, my reflex was gone, and I didn't have it again for like 3 months. For the most part. If I did something stupid like eat a pizza, maybe a little reflex. But they didn't want to just permanently keep me on the throat steroid. They said, because it's the steroid was like not a pill, it was like a gel that coats your throat like cough syrup, that it doesn't hurt your immune system like normal steroids. So they said I wasn't at a higher risk for COVID, but I was a little skeptical because COVID lives in the throat, and that's where the steroid is. But I did end up getting COVID around the time that I quit taking that. I ran out. But it wasn't that bad. But I would worry a little if there was, especially if it was a dangerous COVID strain. If I was on that and there was a COVID uptake of a or deadlier strain. But yeah, when I lose weight, my reflux tends to get a lot less bad. But lately, I did lose weight. I lost like 6 pounds since October. It doesn't seem to have helped much. So I might have to take more drastic measures to deal with it. Like never slouching in my seat. Maybe I need to try to figure out what we have to figure out different foods to eat so I don't have to burp as much. Because I already know what gives me direct heartburn, like pizza and stuff, and overeating. But I never really paid that much attention to what causes me to have to burp. If the burping thing aggravates my reflux, I might have to pay more attention to it. Old people problems, middle-aged people problems, I guess. Everybody tends to get health problems. That one just happens to be mine. My heart's great though. I got a cardiac calcium test last year to check if my arteries were starting to clog, and they were pretty clean. You could barely even detect the plaque in the thing. In the test. I was like way above average in health, heart health for my age, it said. But here I'm going up another hill. I'm not in the thing, so I'm going from 3.2 miles per hour to 3.1 because of the hill. I'm assuming that could just be random jumpiness of the miles per hour. Yeah, I think it was just nothing. So maybe the hill, when you're running, doesn't affect how your character moves in the game like bicycling does. So if I would have stayed in the run and there wasn't the software bug, I might have caught up to the other people if they were actually using an incline treadmill. I'll have to try it again sometime. An incline run. And actually finish it without hitting a software bug, hopefully next time. Yeah, 15 minutes to go. So I went a little over 1 mile before it crashed on me. I've gone almost a mile in here, in Watopia here. So I've gone at least half the distance, probably, of the 4.1 or however long it was miles. If it gets to 8 o'clock and I'm feeling my throat's not too bad, my heart rate's not in the red, maybe I'll keep going. Try to go what I think is about 4.1 miles. I'm like 40. I have a cousin who's like just turned 18 and he grew like a mustache. He looks like 30. He looks so old. Like, why would you want to look like that if you're 18? Maybe he's the dedicated booze buyer with the fake ID. But I can't understand it. Like, why would you want to look like a goofy 30-year-old when you're 18? I mean, he's like a sports guy, like fit, but with his mustache, he looks like a 30-year-old office worker. He doesn't look... It overwhelms everything else about his appearance, his goofy mustache. I think he just did spring break or went on vacation with his mom and dad and somewhere warm or something, because I saw some photos. Or maybe it's like, now, like if it's your senior year in high school, sometimes they let you finish the year early. Or maybe he's just done, because it's what? It's April. Yeah, maybe. Although I don't remember. When I was a senior, I think I went till like May before they told me I didn't have to go anymore. I think they gave me 2 months to skip. But whatever. Did a comedy thing in a college bar a couple weeks ago, and they said it was spring break. And they didn't think anybody was going to show up, but they had a decent turnout. The kids are too broke to go to Florida for spring break. Or well, I mean, maybe they don't go every year, so, I mean, I didn't go every year. I didn't go at all, to be honest. But, yeah. It's a good comedy show. I did the best in that one out of the 10 or 12 comics, which is weird, because I was the oldest comic. And they introduced me as he's old enough to be your dad, which is something I haven't had before, but technically it's true, I suppose. If they're college age, they're around 20, 18 to 23, and I'm 41. Although I guess that most kids who make it into college have parents who planned having kids and they had them later, like in their 30s. Might be a couple people in there who knocked out a baby at 18 who ended up going to college. I don't know if that's the norm though. I shouldn't talk that way, that's mean. Yeah, I wonder nowadays, like, who's going to college and who isn't. Because college is such a ripoff now for a lot of majors and people. I mean, even what I did, which is programming, it definitely helps to go to college, and you do learn stuff that it helps you get employed, but it's probably not necessary. You could take some online courses, get some Microsoft certifications for a few $100s to take the courses, and you could probably get a job from that without going to college. It'd be really hard to motivate yourself to learn that way though. I don't know if I could do it because I'm so lazy. Okay, that must be the top of the hill. And I think companies like Tesla, like big tech companies, like progressive tech companies, are more likely to hire you if you don't have a college degree than some random old-timey company in Michigan where I live. Like full of crusty old men who are in their 60s. They care too much about college degrees. But younger, more trendy companies, Silicon Valley type companies who think rationally will probably be more likely to hire you if you don't have a degree. If you know what you're doing. So yeah, if you didn't go to college as a programmer, you might have to move. Although with remote working, maybe you wouldn't even have to do that. I think I'm going to stop at 8. Just because I'm bored. I didn't finish editing my comedy podcast yesterday, so I want to do that tonight. It's the first time in months that I've been 2 days late uploading it. Part of the reason I'm late is that I was lazy, but part of it is that the audio is really bad. One of the guests didn't have headphones, and a sort of tech illiterate older comic, although she was able to figure out how to enter it, but she didn't have any headphones. So there was an echo, so I had to mute her every time she wasn't talking, because if anybody else talked, the audio would come out of her speakers and back into her mic, and it would echo. And also, whenever I unmute her, there's like a static hiss, like the echo of the hiss, like the feedback of the hiss makes it worse. So the audio of the podcast this week is pretty bad. I tried, also one of the guys was talking too quiet, so every time he talks I've got to amplify the volume. And I did try reducing the hiss, but it made the audio sound all tinny and shit. So I'm just going through right now and doing the volume amplification and editing content a little bit, taking out some ums if it makes sense. And then when I'm done with that, I might see if I can reduce hiss, not for the whole track, but for little individual spots. That way the whole track isn't tinny. That's going to take forever. I might just decide to just let the hiss be there, not worry that the audio quality is bad. I mean, I've seen a lot of even like professional comics do Skype podcasts, and they tend to run into problems. Not that bad of problems, but it's sort of expected that if you're doing virtual podcasts, that sometimes the audio or the connection has problems. So maybe I should just say fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop at 8, fuck it. Because my heart rate is up super high. My throat's not too bad. But, yeah, I'm bored. I don't have anything else to talk about. So tomorrow I'll probably stream Vanishing of Ethan Carter at closer to 9 o'clock, like my normal time. Sunday maybe stream late after my stand-up comedy show, but probably not. Monday Monday I might be back at my sister's house and stream from the omnidirectional treadmill, but probably not. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I have comedy things, so I'm not streaming. Friday maybe I'll stream omnidirectional treadmill. Saturday maybe. Sunday I have a comedy thing. Monday I'll probably be back here to do Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So that's my tentative streaming schedule. But anyway, like 10 more seconds to go, I guess. Till 8 o'clock. Ish. Okay, this is Gaming McFitness. Keep gaming, keep exercising. If you want to make exercise less boring, try doing both at the same time. Good night.